You're welcome.
I'll start again. So welcome to this webinar, and I can see that we've completely maxed out this webinar again. So we're super excited. I think within 3 minutes, the participants have now been all locked out. So I've got to just get over one statement I need to tell you all, and just so bear with me while I read this, because we are going to be talking about income levels with Isagenix today. And earning levels for Isagenix independent associates that appear in this publication are examples and should be not construed as typical or average. Income level achievements are dependent upon the individual associate's business skills, personal ambition, time commitment, activity, and demographic factors. For earnings, average earnings, please see the independent associate earnings statement found at isagenixearnings.com. So let's start there saying, wow, I'm just super excited. We have a lot of mums on here. I can see a lot of girl power happening. We've even got someone in the comment section here saying that she's excited, she's breastfeeding. So welcome. And you know what I'm so passionate about is women. No, I don't swing that way, but I am passionate about women. But I'm really passionate about motherhood, and I'm passionate about showing you and the rest of the women out there that are willing to learn or willing to be open to the world of network marketing. And what I'm trying to do is really change the world's perception of network marketing and the women that work within it. So I'll just tell you a brief story about me, which is 3.5 years ago, I was very unhappy. I'd had my second baby and I couldn't drop the baby weight, and I purely used Isagenix because I needed to give myself something back. I needed to get my body back, and boy, did it work. I did lose a massive amount of weight, 27 kilos in total. I looked amazing, and my friends started asking me for the secret. And so accidentally, organically, and yes, there's a big chunk missing in the middle there, I built a business which has helped my husband and I retire from where we were in our normal 9-to-5 jobs, and earn us over $1 million now. So I'm super excited because this is just so possible. And if it can happen for a little suburban mum with 2 kids working 56 hours a week as a nurse and a husband working at most days, 6 days a week, then it's definitely possible for absolutely anybody that is willing to listen. So I'm not going to go on any more about my story because we have some amazing, amazing, amazing women, some mothers, some business owners that have been invited onto this call and kindly accepted. So we thank them very much for their time, that are building a network marketing business within Isagenix, and they're doing it so successfully. But what's even more exciting, and what I want you to get away from this, is you may not resonate with a mum of 2 that was a nurse working 56 hours a week, but you might resonate with one of these ladies. They all build their Isagenix business differently. They're all doing it differently. But I think the main thing that we really want to get across in this webinar is that perhaps if you are currently struggling, or thinking, this business isn't going anywhere or it's not working for me, then I hope you find in this, listening to one of these 6 ladies, a missing link to your business to move it forward, when you can resonate with them and say, you know what, I'm in this exact same spot and they're doing this, so I'm going to follow. And the other people that have been invited onto this webinar that perhaps aren't in a network marketing company, perhaps not even looking at Isagenix, I hope this gives you hope or inspires you that you can do this. And I was boxed into this box for 10 years. I had a stable job. I had the $500,000 mortgage. I was, I was super stressed, but I was living what society had taught me was the Australian dream. So I'm just hoping this shows another side to this world, and perhaps your world as well. So who have I got first up? I think I have the beautiful Robbie. Robbie, can you unmute your line, darling? So Robbie Stevens-Pollock, she's just a newlywed again. She just remarried her beautiful husband. She's got 2 beautiful little children, and I just see her pop up everywhere. And every time she pops into my feed, it's something positive. She's helping other people. She's breeding an amazing culture. So I really thank her for taking time out to be on this. And so I know that you can resonate when I say that you found yourself before Isogenics in the usual rat race of young families. And if you're on this webinar, I know that you can relate to when I say the rat race, you know, you're on that mouse wheel and you just can't get off. Can you share what life was like pre-network marketing or pre-Isogenics? And now how has it changed? And how are you and your husband building this business full-time now?
Yeah, sure, Hides. And look, thank you so much for asking me to be on the call. I'm so grateful. And, you know, I really just want to set the intention of the call. If anyone's watching this, you know, really just have an open mind. There's going to be some amazing people on the call, and, you know, really just take in all of the information that you can, because this industry is absolutely amazing. So for us, before network marketing, oh my gosh, where do I start? So we had two businesses going at the time. My husband's a builder, and yeah, we were on that rat wheel, and we had no idea how to get off it. And as you say, Hides, that, you know, that Australian dream, you know, getting the mortgage and working hard, and, you know, you put in all of these hours, but you just don't seem to get ahead. And that's what our life was. Our life was full of stress, full of struggle. You know, I remember my hubby saying, you know, I can't work any harder. We can't make any more money. And at that point, you know, I was a stay-at-home mum with two kids, and that's when I decided to actually start my homewares business. So doing that, we ended up working more hours. We were working 6 to 7 days a week, and it was just chaos. It was causing arguments within our marriage. We were fighting all the time, and most of it was about money. And I think, you know, any household, it's always about money. And you know, we were just looking. We were looking for a way out. We just didn't know. We didn't know what it was. We were fortunate to come across network marketing 5 years ago, actually, where we dabbled in another company. And 2 years ago, we were actually introduced to the company that we're with now. So grateful for that. And, you know, it's changed our life in so many ways. Like, I can't even explain how much it's changed our life. It's given us, like, our time freedom back, financial freedom. You know, we've been able to help so many people in the process, but it's been a journey, and not everybody, you know, kind of understood where we were coming from and what we wanted to do when we came into this. So it has been a journey for the last 2 years, but, you know, the point that we're at now is absolutely amazing, just to not have that stress within our household.
Yeah, and it hits me right here, because I know exactly all the fights over money. So, you know, that's now, like, I heard, you know, what it was like before, and I can see now very clearly on social media and, you know, what your life is like now. But there's obviously an in-between bit, right, whilst you're building this and gaining some momentum. And I think this is the bit where people either stop or keep going. And it all comes down to, I think everyone knows what I'm going to say, which is sacrifice. So what sacrifices did you make, and your husband and your family, when you were actively, and I know you're still actively building this business, but what sacrifices perhaps do you still make on a daily basis, but whilst you're really getting this business off the ground?
Well, we made lots of sacrifices. For us, it was, you know, we had no plan B. We had to make this work because, you know, Luke was a burnt out builder at 27 years of age. So, you know, we really had to make this work, and we just jumped in with 2 feet. We became a student in our business. We knew that we had to learn the profession. We invested in our personal development. We stopped watching TV. We stopped, I guess, hanging around people who, who didn't serve us in a positive way. We associated ourselves with people who were successful and, you know, people who we could learn from. I guess, you know, we did all that we could. Like, we did all that we could to make this work. And, we just focused. We set our focus, and we just did what we had to do.
Yeah, and I just want to add something in. When I was building this business actively, my husband, who wasn't really on board at the start, let's just say that, he often would say to me, "You say you're building this for our family, but we're not seeing you." And it was really hard when I wasn't bringing in the money or I wasn't bringing in the clientele, like why I was traveling all over the place and spending my limited time that I had with my family building that Isogenics business. And I think a lot of families or a lot of mothers feel a lot of guilt about that, because you're kind of saying, I'm doing this for my family and yet I'm spending less time with them. So a lot of sacrifices are made along the way, but if you can just get over that hump, and like you know, now you and your husband are working full time at this, you know, you're always with your little girls, you're traveling all around the world, you're showing them things that you would never be able to show them before this. So those sacrifices become so worth it in the end, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I think, you know, something that we did do is we actually set the intentions with the kids. So, you know, we told the kids, you know, we are going to be busy. We're going to be on the phone, you know, a little bit more than what we are. And, you know, we may not be as present as we'd like to be, but what would you like at the end of this? And we really included them in anything that we were working towards, and they understood, you know, at a young age that mummy and daddy were working really hard to be able to take them away on holiday and spend more time with them, and you know, be more present as parents. So I guess that was the main thing, including the kids on everything that we did. Yeah. And now 6 and 7 years of age, they are just totally clued on with everything, and they just get it. They totally get it. Yeah.
Great. So Robbie, I see your team culture, and like I almost want to come and join your team. You are having so much fun. You've got all these young moms. They're all looking hot, by the way. These products work. And you're building, as I can see, amazing friendships. So how important do you think team culture is, and what are your tips for developing it?
Oh, well, team culture is everything. Like, team culture is the heartbeat of this business. And, you know, essentially people want to be around people who, you know, have a positive impact on them. And, you know, people just want to be a part of something. They want to be a part of something bigger than what they are. So, you know, with us, we just, we've always said friends before business. Anybody that comes on board with us, you know, our friendship is the main thing apart from anything. And, you know, we have a lot of people that we don't actually know that come into our business that end up being, you know, some of our best friends. So, you know, we have so much fun together. We travel to our team, we go on holidays together. You know, when you were saying about people being hot, it's only because of these products. I swear to God, these products make everyone better looking. But, you know, there's a quote that I love, and it's, you know, people will forget what you say and they'll forget what you do, but they'll never forget how you make them feel. So, you know, for team culture, it's just bringing people in and making them really feel valued and making them feel a part of something. And, you know, team culture as well is, you know, getting out of your own way, allowing people to step up and really shine in their own right. And it's never about us, it's always about others. So every single morning, Luke and I wake up and we're like, who can we help today? Who can we serve today? It's not about us anymore. And, you know, just welcoming everybody in with open arms. And, you know, the culture starts with us. So, you know, if you're wanting to have a fun team, it starts with you being that fun person, because everything would duplicate and people would just follow on from what you're doing. Your vibe attracts your tribe. You know, this is something that we use every day, and it's always, you know, putting out those good vibes, not micromanaging your people, just, you know, empowering people and not enabling them, not being a control freak, you know, just showing people the way and linking arms with them, and then kind of just cheering them on, you know, being people's biggest cheerleader, and, you know, developing leaders to the best of your ability and just letting them shine. So that's kind of what we do within our team. And yeah, it's just, I don't know, we just have so much fun with it. The more fun you have, the more fun people you'll attract in your team.
Well, it's definitely working for you. You're doing so well, and thank you for coming on and giving us your time. And, you know, we wish you well in building, I know, a very successful empire. So well done.
Thank you. I hope it helps. I'm as nervous as all hell. I really hope that helps.
No, don't be nervous. So the next lady I have is a lady who really knows business. You know, she in fact, has several or multiple, I'm not sure how many franchises she actually owns. She's had 10 years experience in small business ownership. She's also a mum of 3 boys. She works part-time in her Isogenics network marketing business, and she says she works around 10 to 15 hours a week, but she's earned over $500,000 in less than 2 years. So this is someone we definitely want to hear from, and that is Bernadette Williams. Are you there?
Hello. Yes, I'm here. Thanks, Heidi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Oh, it looks nice and sunny where you are.
It is. That's why I'm sitting outside. It's beautiful.
Oh, good luck. So you're a mum, a business owner, and I just cannot imagine the busy state of your household. Lots of people struggle not only to sacrifice, but I think sometimes they sacrifice their not so necessary activities to build their business, if that makes sense. So you say you do around 10 to 15 hours a week on your network marketing business, and you've built it to over a 6-figure residual income in around 2 years. So what advice can you give the people that are watching this webinar about the activities that you take priority when you were building, or when I know you're still building, but you have that limited time frame. So what sort of priority activities take place in your network marketing business?
Well, when we first began, Heidi, I think definitely eliminating distractions was the biggest thing, because even though we were busy, it's amazing when you've never thought about it before. I used to, read the paper for half an hour a day. At night we would watch TV with the kids sometimes, and when you added up all that time, and you go, oh, actually, I do have have that time, even though I thought I was so busy. So just those things. I think with the, when you get involved in network marketing especially, and there's a lot of self-development involved, I think also learning about quality of conversations, because all of a sudden I'd realize, oh, I could spend an hour on the phone with someone having a conversation that, we could have got what we needed out of that in 5 minutes. So I was really learning those things where, hang on a minute, there is a lot of time that could be better used to actually help the family. So I guess in terms of the business for us, leveraging our time was really important. So I think if I could say anything in the very beginning, it was launch parties and in-home parties that did that for us. So we, for the very first 3 months when we started, every Wednesday night we had a launch party or in-home party without fail. And what that meant for us is that when we were busy during the week and we were at our different shops or our different businesses, and we just happened to have a conversation, or the conversation came up about Isogenics, we could say, we didn't have to give them any information there and then. We could just say, well, great, if you come along on Wednesday night to our home, you'll find out more information. And the great thing about knowing that you're going to do it the same time every single week is when someone said, oh, well, I'm not available this Wednesday. Well, we do it next Wednesday and the Wednesday after and the Wednesday after. So they could only not be available for so many Wednesdays, right? So that worked really well for us. And it was great. And that's how we build a team culture, because obviously once we started to enroll people, they started to bring people. And then, eventually those launch parties were like for 45 minutes, and then an hour after we would do team training. So we could kind of leverage a couple of hours a week where not only were we presenting the opportunity to new people, but we were also training ourselves and our team together when we first started. So that's probably the biggest tip I would have if you have limited time, is actually leverage that time, because you're better off getting 15 to 20 people, if you can, to a launch party than to have those 15 to 20 conversations separately. It just saves time.
Yeah, exactly. And I built my business on launch parties too. But I think, for those people that didn't build on launch parties, I think the main point there is that the activity was income producing, which means, you were actively helping people get on these products. And in the process, by doing a launch party, actively teaching your team how to do the same thing. So, it was definitely bringing that income into your business.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're already, you and Jimmy, your husband, are successful in business already before looking at isogenics. So my question would be, why? Why do you choose to build an isogenics network marketing business?
Great question. So when we first started, we weren't interested at all. We were just interested for the product. So we had a customer who came into one of our shops, told Jimmy about these products. We could lose weight, just get healthier. And we were like, yeah, we need that. We need to do that. So Jimmy just ordered the packs. I knew nothing about it until the day they turned up. But anyway, so we jumped right on board, and we loved the product straight away. We got great results. But we still said no to the business. Not that we're anti-network marketing, because we've got friends who are really successful in other network marketing companies, and we love anyone who's successful, anyone who works hard and all that sort of thing. But people started asking us really quickly from about day 6. I mean, the first person I enrolled was on day 6, and I'd never met this lady before. I was actually trying to talk her out of joining, to tell you the truth, because I was like, oh, I don't know, it's just this thing. And I was so trying to talk her out of it. She was talking, like talking herself into it. So that's really big tip too. So seem less interested. But for me, it was more about, people were starting to ask, so we thought, well, we better find out a little bit more about the company, because if we're going to introduce our family and friends, we need to make sure our integrity, our brand, everything about us as business people was really important to us. So if we're going to introduce family, friends, and other people into this, we need to make sure that that's a good thing. So we did that. And what happened for me was, I kind of felt like that I was on a treadmill, of the treadmill of life, where I was just waking up and going through the motions every day. So this was kind of how I was feeling before, we introduced isogenics. So I was close to 40. And I think it was the first time in my life, because Jimmy and I just started to downsize. So we were selling off, we'd sold off businesses. We were down to 3 stores, and we were trying to get a better work-life balance. So we did have more time. But what happened is, as we started to slow down, from being manic busy to just being very busy, what happened was I started to have more time to think. So I was thinking, I don't think a lot of people do this until they get to a certain age in their life, but I was coming up to 40, and I was starting to think about the end of my life. So I was starting to think, okay, so when I get to the end of my life, when I'm at my funeral, who's going to be there? What are they going to say about me? And what are they going to say about my life? And, I used to say, it's okay for them to say, yeah, I was, a great mom and a great wife and whatever, but how had I really contributed to the world or made a difference? And this was the thought that I used to think often. So when we found out a bit more about isogenics, and I could see the power, and we heard the stories of different people and what they were achieving, it was like, okay, so I can't give, someone $750,000 to go and buy one of the businesses that we have to kind of have that income earning potential that we have. But I saw this as, wow, people can, spend, $400, $600 on the products, which is your overheads that you get to eat. And yet they have a potential to build a business and take some financial pressure off their families, and also develop enough income to build some time freedom where families can spend more time together and be together. So for me, that was so powerful. It was like, wow, this is how I can make a difference in the world. Just by helping, and at first it was just my family and my friends, and because I knew their whys and the reasons why they were struggling. So I knew that I could go to them and say, wow, these products for everyone, you need to use these products, but there's also this opportunity. So for me, it was just more about being able to make a difference, and being able to share that with other people. And it just became my purpose and a passion, I guess. So that was it.
Wow, that wasn't the response that I was expecting, and like the comments down the side here, like very powerful and beautiful. I was just expecting you to say, because I'm smart in business. But no, you're definitely here to serve. So thank you for serving us today, and enjoy that beautiful sunshine.
Thank you, Heidi. Thanks, everyone.
So my next lady, she's beautiful. She's hot too. She's not a mum yet, but I can feel it in my waters that it's not too far off. She has a tertiary education. She was working in federal politics, and, she was working a good corporate corporate job with good corporate salary, but she knew that the future in that wasn't going to serve her. And so within 6 months, she replaced her corporate salary. So she raced, she did it fast, and she's now also retired her beautiful husband, Morgan. So that's Anna Richards.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, Anna.
I've got a storm raging right in front of me.
Really?
Everything's okay, yeah. I'm like Bernadette with beautiful sunshine.
I know, we're all in different parts of Australia here. We're like going from New South Wales to Queensland, now we're over in Perth. So welcome Perth. So Anna, how did you find Isagenix? I mean, what attracted a young, smart, educated woman who was already moving up the ranks in a corporate world to an industry where perhaps there's already some very unfair perceptions existing?
Yeah. So I love this question because even though we're all on here today and we're all lady bosses, and I've had some phenomenal conversations with a lot of you who are actually not yet in Isagenix on this webinar, trying to take a look at what we do and how we do it. And the resounding thing for me was, yes, the business is sexy and it's exciting and we can have a lot of fun with it. But ultimately, what led this girl to Isagenix was the health. So I wanted products. I was looking for something as a clean eating fitness freak who was doing everything by the book, but still not feeling well. I really wanted products. I was looking for something that was going to make me feel better, that was going to give me the results in the gym that I felt I deserved. So when I sat across from a stranger over 3 years ago who said to me, you know, look, she was happy, she was healthy, she had energy, she was fun, she traveled, she did all these things. That was awesome. But I also noticed this energy aspect and this essence of her and this vibrancy and this skin health and bright eyes. And I was like, what do you do? And when she said she did nutritional cleansing, I just said, shut up and take my money. I was literally just like, you know what? I want to give this go from a product perspective. And she absolutely drew, it was Peter Kelly, best friend today, but she drew out the circles and the lines. I always say our phenomenal compensation plan for me that very night. And that excited me absolutely. I thought, far out, you know, we already do this. I'm already recommending every other week people to favorite restaurants. Truly, my hairdresser, if I get a great tan, I recommend people to my, you know, tanner. I was already doing that. So I thought, are you serious? Is there honestly an actual profession that rewards us for telling people what we love? But ultimately, what led me to say yes to this from the very beginning, and I think it's super important to know this, was the product. So as much as we can get excited about the business, and I do every single day, you know, it's very fun to live the life that I get to live now, along with my husband who's just out there. But ultimately it was the health, and it starts and ends with health for me. So get excited about that. If you're someone that hasn't yet given this a go, understand that the opportunity for you from a business perspective is unlimited in terms of the commitment that you want to put in and the effort that you want to put in and all those sorts of things. But from a health perspective, how exciting that you could honestly find some products that could ultimately change your life. And I always say, I was on a call yesterday with a big hitter, and I said to them, how exciting that you've found the company that's going to transform your health. And I stand behind these products, brand and life, because I just know what they've done for me. So that's why I said yes.
Yeah. And I think I did a post the other day. I looked at all the 6-figure income earners in my downline. I think I had about 6 or 7 of them. And the one thing in common, yes, they were all mums. Yes, they were all women. But the thing that really stood out for me is that they all came into Isagenix to use the products. And so did I.
I think we all did.
Yeah. Okay, so what you're obviously now attracting a lot of other young, dynamic people into your business, and you're really, I think, changing the world's perception of network marketing and Isagenix. So what do you envisage for this company and in the next 10 years to come?
So this is actually, you don't know this, but this is actually my favorite question at the moment, because I've just got back from Vegas again with my beautiful husband and our awesome team and a lot of you guys. But we just had our international conference for the company. And that means nothing to you if you're taking a look at us. But what that meant for me was a lot of a shift on a cellular level. And what I envision for the next 10 years for this company is, and this is what you have to understand, people, this is what I got. I was like, you know what, with or without me, this company is going to impact world health. With or without me, this company is going to become the largest health and wellness company in the world. With or without me, whether I show up, whether I continue to put the product, whatever I choose to do, this company is on the up and up and up and up and up. But I want that to be with me. I don't want it to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years down the track and go, you know, I was a part of that. Like I got on a webinar one day and I had a look, but I still wasn't sure. And I said no. In 10 years time, this will be the largest health and wellness company in the world. In 10 years time, we're number one right now in Australia. And I believe that we will continue to be so. So what I envision for this company is just truly impacting world health. And that's why I get up every single day. That's why I stay up late every single night. That's why I'll get on webinars like this for anyone in the field, because I know that these products really do impact, you know, lives and change people's lives. And I get so excited that this company is living into its values and living into its mission. So I just think if you're taking a look at this, and this was the biggest thing that I got from a lot of people were like, were attracted to the webinar because they were like, you know what, I actually do have a lot going on in my life right now. I'm in a startup, or I've just become a new mum, or I work a corporate job like you had this big career, and I just don't know if I can do it because I don't have the time. You have the time, because you will regret it if you look back in 2, 5, 10 years time and go, God, that could have been me. You know, I could have had that big story. I could have truly transformed my health. So I'm actually hot in the face talking about this, because I just get so excited that in 10 years, it's not even going to take 10 years. I honestly don't believe it. This company, with or without us, and that's what you have to get. Don't be that guy. Don't be that girl that, in a couple of months' time starts to go, hear it in their networks and going, oh, that was me. I should have been the one that, you know, shared this with you and have impacted my own health. So.
Yeah, awesome. Actually, I got a bit heated too then. You just got me all excited. Check out my pulse. I just did another workout. So, woo! And when you first started, I know that your husband, or wasn't husband then, but Morgs, he wasn't really on board. He was a major skeptic. And, you know, you were putting a lot of time, a lot of effort into building this business, and you weren't necessarily reaping any sort of financial rewards. Fast forward, you've retired him. You're both actively working this business together, and he's definitely now on board. But in the early days, there must have been some pretty heated discussions in your household. I know that this is a common theme, and I've experienced it, and lots of other mums have experienced it in my team. So how did you get through this time, and how did you make him see the light?
I love this question, because this is our whole story. So if you are someone, again, I just always want to take it to you brand newbies who are just taking a look. And if you're watching the recording, then hello. But when I actually walked in the door, you guys, having said, I literally was like, shut up and take my money. When I walked in the door and I was like, oh my, and I was excited. Like back 3 and a bit years ago, you know, I wasn't Googling, I wasn't doing all those things. I was just excited again about products that could potentially change my health, but I didn't know much. But I knew, like, it was just this weird thing. I was like, when you know that you know that you know. So I walked back in the door. I'd left for dinner with this complete stranger. I came back home and I walk in the door and I'm like talking like this. I'm like, oh my God, honey, I'm so excited. I've just signed up to this $600 worth of products, and it shakes and it's cleansing and blah, 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 blah. He was angry. Like, he was like, you're an idiot. I thought you were smarter than this. What was your degree for? Like, you've been scammed. It's a pyramid scheme. Like, if you think that you've had a skeptic in your life, like, my husband was the CEO of that group. So I was really mad. I was like, first of all, I'm all about women empowerment, so I want to get real with you for a minute. But I was like, first of all, my body, my health, my life. So if I want to do this, I'm going to do this. Second of all, and then this is the most powerful thing. I was like, so heated arguments, yes. But I was like, second of all, here's the thing. Give me a month. Just give me 1 month. I promise I've spent the money. Tammy, I see you like, woo! But second of all, I was like, give me just 1 month, honey. I've spent the money. I'm going to honor this system. In 1 month, if I don't see results, if I don't feel the difference, I get to send these products back and I get all my money back, and you get an I told you so. So you win. But at the end of the month, if I have seen any different, if I'm less stressed, if I'm sleeping better, if I feel better in the skin, if I find myself again, then you get a better wife back. And that's a win for you too. So ultimately, this is a win-win-win-win-win. I may lose. I may have to eat my words and say, look, I was wrong. But I have a funny feeling I'm not going to. So that was the first conversation. And it's a powerful conversation to have. And he honestly was like, okay. But then literally like 2 days later, he went quiet. And I don't have kids yet. I'm a mum wannabe or gonna be. So he went really quiet. But like husbands are like children. And I was like, where is he? Like, this is weird. So I go, this is not this hand on my heart. I walk into his man cave and I like look to see what he's Googling. And mid-Google, like I caught him mid-Google isogenic scan. And I was like, this is not happening. So at that point, and this is the second most powerful conversation you have, because you may be someone that says yes today, especially you mums, and then you go to your husband and you're excited like I was, and they get angry because you spent money, or you start doubting yourself because mothers hate spending money on yourself, which I think is crazy, but I get it. So if in that moment I had this conversation and I said to him, look, and this is the thing, your husband may be a skeptic or partner or girlfriend or whatever, but they love and respect you. And so you deserve to ask of that love and respect. So I just said to him, you don't have to get this. You don't need to get the t-shirt. You don't need to come to any of it. You don't need to do anything. You just cannot stand in my way. You cannot stand in my way from a health perspective. You cannot stand in my way if I run with you. You just cannot stand in my way. So I'm not saying to get on board. I'm just saying get out of the way. And he actually was like, you know what? I get it. I'm sorry. And thank you. And honestly, it was that conversation, I think, both of those conversations that were really pivotal in our relationship. There's been multiple more. He said it on stage in the US. He got to be a trainer. And he actually said, there's been a lot of heated conversations or arguments in our house. I haven't won one yet. But he's a phenomenal man that gets to do this with me today. But I think as a mum, as a woman, as a boss lady, whatever you want to come at in this business, you have to understand that you can do, have anything you want in this company. You just have to respect yourself enough to A, have the posture and the courage to give it a go first and foremost, and then B, have the posture and the courage to really make a go of this. And why he got behind me ultimately in the end, and this is really important if you do want to make something more of this than just eating the products, is that I took myself very seriously. And I did not have this confidence. I've been confident, but in the beginning, I didn't have the story. In the beginning, I didn't have the results. In the beginning, I didn't have the team. I didn't have anything that I have today, but I saw the vision for this company and I saw the vision for my life. And you can too. And for me, I took myself very seriously and I respected this profession. I got excited by this profession. Women, we are good at this profession. We love to talk. We love health. So we love to socialize, and that's what this is about. So taking yourself seriously when you do. I want this to be a powerful, powerful tool for people ultimately to look back on this and go, to share this with people that are taking a look. And but to you I speak to and I say, take yourself seriously, understand the power of this profession, and the freaking world is your oyster. So
yeah, I love it. And I don't think there's many mums or women that have built this business without someone somewhere saying something. And, the best advice that I could give people watching this is stop the conflict. Just ask for not even understanding, just ask for some space. And you love me enough just to support me, just doing this. And in the end, when I stopped sort of pulling my husband and he was sort of pushing the other way, it was like the elastic band was about to break. And then, he kind of gave me that space to work it. And then he started to see the results and, he came on board eventually. So yeah, don't buy into the conflict.
Yeah.
So Anna, last question. I won't keep you any longer, but you're into your 3rd year in isogenics?
Yep.
So very similar to me. I think we signed up around the same time. We were both looking for something. And, I guess like me, you've seen so many people quit along the way. So many people that you had great hopes for. And, I guess, why do you think this happens?
I think for a multitude of reasons, but I sometimes think it does come down to yourself and the person that really shares this with you, managing expectations. I think we get very excited because it is different. It's not just products that you buy off the shelf. There is this beautiful compensation plan attached that ultimately, I don't care what anyone says, I do think deep down people do hope, even if it's like, gosh, I hope I can eat for free. And then maybe they don't do the products properly, because that can be a big one. Or maybe they, wanted to be a millionaire in 2 minutes and that didn't happen. Or maybe they got rejected by their husband. That happens often, or partner or boyfriend or whatever. And they quit. And I think it's the saddest thing that can happen. But I always say, I believe as a sponsor, as a coach, as an ambassador for the field, self-appointed, it really comes down to us doing things like this and saying that it ultimately is up to you to eat the products, to understand that it does take work, to the commitment just to the products. It's a storm out here, and you bet that I could have come home and had Vegemite on toast. But instead I made my shake because I love and breathe these products. So I think a lot of the time why people quit is really because A, they didn't manage their own expectations, and B, again, someone brings you into this, someone. So it does come down to us as well, managing or helping to manage your expectations. And this absolutely takes work on every level. Again, the commitment to your health and the commitment to the business. So if you can understand that, as long as you respect yourself enough to understand that it's going to take perseverance, dedication, showing up sometimes when you don't feel like it, again, just as much to the products as it does to the business, then you can have abundant success. But knowing that, again, it just takes work. So people quit, I believe, because of those reasons. But I want to see less of that.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So thank you so much. You survived the storm.
Yeah.
So the next lady, I think she's my soul sister, because she's a nurse, and she's got a little bit of a reputation around the traps of like me, where she just doesn't take any BS. I see her all the time. Like every time I've been to an event with her, or she wins all these trips, and we've been on some incentive trips together. She's on her phone. She's 24/7 on her phone, hustling away. She is a nurse. She has now retired herself from that. I don't know where in the world she is at the moment. I think America somewhere. And honestly, she's an absolute dynamite in this company. And we're, like all the other women here, we're just so happy to have her on. And her name is Rachel Pedretti. Are you there, Rach?
Hi. Thanks so much for having me. I am. You can hear me loud and clear.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Where are you in the world at the moment?
Jumping on. Heidi, I'm currently in Charlotte, which is a state in America, just near New York. I am a Melbourne girl, and I literally rang my nana last week and said, I'm coming home. And she's like, it's really cold. And I'm like, well, I'm going to stay another week. So I'm still in America following our big conference.
Oh, you're a gypsy at heart. Yes. So when you began Isogenics, you were working as a nurse offshore. So how did you find time to build your business to what it is today, which is, extraordinary?
Yeah. Awesome. I'll quickly share my story just so everyone knows where I'm coming from and why I joined Isogenics. So I was a critical care nurse from Melbourne. I was 29 years old. I've been with the company now 2 years, 6 months. I ended up leaving the hospital because I'd reached the ceiling of my earning capacity. I was burnt out, stressed out. I was overworked. I love my job as a nurse looking after people, but it was so physically and mentally exhausting. So I had this really smart idea that I could go and work on oil rigs and mines and as a nurse and earn more income to pay for life, essentially, to build that great Australian dream that, so many of us want to have. But what I found was I went out and worked on these mines and oil rigs, and I was so far away from my values. Yeah, I was earning more income, but it didn't necessarily make me happy. I was lacking like passion and purpose. I love my family and friends, and I was spending so much time away from them, and I was essentially trading my most valuable asset, which is time, for money. The other flip side was, right, that I was struggling with my weight. I loved food, and when you're not happy with life, you tend to eat more. I know that so many of you can probably relate to this. So I was lacking in energy, lacking in sleep, really unhappy with my body. was trying every diet known to mankind. Nothing was working. And I really want to just stress this, that I only joined this company to lose weight. I was a skeptic. I thought that I was going to be sending these products back because nothing had ever worked in the past. What I found was that I tried these products and I felt better. I didn't know what it was, but I felt better after a few days and after a few weeks, and the scales started to go down, and I was like, wow, these products actually do what they're meant to do. This is incredible. I'm actually not going to send them back. And then what happened, I didn't tell anyone for the first 30 days. I kept it a secret. And then when you ask, how did I find time to build this business? Well, at the start, let me share with you that I didn't want to build a business. I was already busy. I had a professional ego. So what that means was I was a nurse. I'd spent a lot of time going to university, getting an education to become a nurse. That was my dream job when I was a kid. And essentially, I didn't think that there was anything else out there that was better or that I could do that would equal that. I also had an income coming in that was 6 figures. And I was like, how is these shakes going to replace that? But deep down inside, my soul was being destroyed by working a job that I didn't like, and by living away from my values, by never seeing my family, by never seeing my friends. And so what happened was I fell in love with these products, and I loved how they made me feel and what they did for me. And I wanted my friends and family to have the same results as me and to essentially try these products and feel great as well. So I had this incredible belief, and what I used to do was I'd just go and book all of these appointments, these coffee dates. I had no experience in this industry. I was a nurse, but what I was doing is I was catching up with my friends and family, and I was sharing about these products and what they were doing. And all of my friends and family started to jump on board, and then I started getting paid. And so essentially at the start, as far as time goes, I was doing what I would do normally. I was referring, and I heard Anna say this before, I was referring a product that I loved to my friends and family. But what happened next was I went to an event. I was dragged there kicking and screaming by the person who helped me get started. And I was going just to tell them that I was not interested in this. And after that event, everything changed for me. I saw people like Anna, people like Bernadette presenting and sharing their story. And, Heidi, I think you're at that event as well. And guys, if you are on this webinar and you are not in Isagenix yet, get yourself to an event so you can see real people and their stories and their success. And if you're on this webinar, you're already in Isagenix, get to as many events as you can, because that's what changed it for me. I got to this event, everything changed for me, and I made a decision. And that decision was to throw myself fully in, become completely immersed in this, and learn as much as I can with as much time as I could possibly give to doing it properly. So as far as time goes, every single one of you is going to be different. What I did was I went, how much time have I got to really pursue this? And every single person is going to be so different, but I got rid of all the things that were distracting, were not working, not getting me towards my goals, towards the life that I wanted. And I suddenly had all this time to put into something that was really going to help me just live this incredible life, and also to help me bless other people with Isagenix. So the time that I had, I went to events, I listened to podcasts, I read books, but most importantly, what I did was I caught up with as many people. So I was working on an oil rig, guys. So when I was not on the rig, I was catching up with my friends and family, and I was on the phone to them, and I was sharing what I was doing. And everybody can do that, okay? When I was at work, I was spending every spare little second that I could building this business. And so that meant my lunch breaks, I was doing Isagenix. Sometimes I was even doing it at work, but we won't talk about that. The same thing if I was running through an airport, whereas I used to maybe listen to music, now I'd listen to a podcast or I'd make phone calls. So if you're wondering, how much time does this actually take? Every single woman on this call has got a different life. She's got different needs for her lifestyle, family, friends, work commitments. Some people study. you can make this work with any amount of time. What I say to you is, use that time wisely. For me now, the time that I put in at the start has all paid off, because now I don't spend as much time, but the rewards are just incredible.
Awesome. Great. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. And there were many breaks or toilet breaks that I would take where I was messaging people when I was working as a nurse as well. So, look, I know as a nurse, your day, your shift, it revolves a lot around structure. So, drug rounds, and doctor's rounds, tests. So network marketing, you're your own boss. And so therefore you set your own schedule. So what activities do you do daily, which you think has best benefited your business?
Yeah. So with setting our own schedule, it all sounds really glamorous and all sounds really awesome. But let me tell you that sometimes that can be not so awesome at the start, because we're all so used to living this scheduled life, school, work, university. You work this time plan for somebody else, and now suddenly you can work your own time. But it's something that's so challenging, but it's something that gives you the most reward, because now you get to choose how you spend your time and to actually choose to do great things with your time. So the things that I do every single day, Heidi, I stick to income producing activities. So they're things that are actually going to build my business, to help me get people started on Isagenix. So there's a few things. So I every single day I look at 3 things: prospecting or connecting. So connecting with people, building a relationship, loving on them, and sharing with them how Isagenix can help them. And that is in so many different forms. That's catching up with people for coffee. It's on the phone. It's every single where I go. I'm connecting with new people. I'm making new friends on Facebook. I say I collect friends absolutely everywhere. Sometimes Isagenix doesn't even come up, but if you're living an incredible life, you're going to live incredible people, and you're going to meet incredible people, and so many of them are going to want to do what we're doing, okay? The next thing is enrolling, and I'm always helping people get started, enrolling them into Isagenix and supporting them to have the best experience. I heard Anna say it before, this is all about the products, and it so is. So we need to make sure that people are having a 5-star service. I say we've got a 5-star company, we've got 5-star products. We need to give them a 5-star service so that they stay using these products and love them and have the same opportunities as all of us who are chatting tonight on the call. And the next thing is rank advancing. And so for people that are looking at this going, what is that? That means that we're simply helping our people get paid who have started on Isagenix, because Isagenix is so incredible. The only thing that makes it even better is if we can help everybody get their products for free. So I make sure I'm channeling all of my time and energy into those 3 things. I do a couple of other things as well, like supporting my Facebook groups. I make sure I'm always posting on social media. I had to be really careful. When I started, I was spending all this time doing things that didn't serve me, and I think it's the next question. So I definitely make sure my intentions are set at the start of the day, and I totally stick to them, and they are the first things I do at the start of the day. If there is something that doesn't fit into those 3 things, I make sure I do it at the end of the day. Sometimes I don't even do it. It's not a priority.
Awesome.
There you go.
Yeah, good. So how do you schedule your diary now? I never know what time zone you're in. So how does your diary know? How do you know what to tell it every day? Are there tasks you absolutely do every day without fail?
Yeah, so let me tell you that sometimes my diary doesn't know where I am either, but that is one of the blessed things about this. So I'm location free, and this is a dream, to be able to go and work from anywhere in the world. And let me tell you, I am working. I'm not just traveling around and partying and not looking after my people and not connecting with new people and not working. My laptop is here. I am working all the time. Well, not all the time, but I make sure that I'm still working. I'm still on my phone. I'm still checking with people. I'm connecting. But the great thing is that all I need is Wi-Fi. So when I look at my diary is going to be so different to so many other people. But there are things that I do absolutely every single day. And it's those 3 things that I spoke about: connecting, enrolling, and getting my people paid. I'm doing personal development all the time. Okay, that I call holidays personal development as well. And so again, when I'm looking at my diary, what I'm doing is, and this is something I need to share with all you guys too, at the start, I was so unbalanced. Everything was about isogenics. And so what I've been able to do with time is make sure that we've got that balance. And I really want all of you guys to really understand how important it is to have balance, that isogenics isn't everything. It's really important, and it's important that we give it the time that it needs. But I've had to make sure that I have isogenics free days. When I first started, I was so worried to go on a holiday because I'm like, oh, is my isogenics going to be okay? And guess what? When I go on holidays, my isogenics business just flourishes because it inspires people to work harder so that they can go on holidays with their family and friends, so they can fly business class. Like, you know, that's the kind of thing that prior to isogenics I could never have done. Donating money to charity, that kind of stuff is what will inspire my team to work harder. So when I look at my diary, I just fill it up at the start of the week, maybe on a Sunday, and then I just go. Like, I just have so much fun all week. I do like to fit as much in as I can. And there's a lot in my diary that's not isogenics, but it ends up being isogenics because everybody wants to know how you're living this great life. What are you doing? Like, you know, can you show me how I can travel and earn that income and help people get healthy? I'm like, yeah, no problem. So my diary can be a little bit messy, but it's always full and it always works. And, you know, it's not a one size fits all either. I look at, some people need written diaries, some people need, you know, phones. What I have learnt though, guys, is that you need a diary. If you don't have a diary, start one now. Just do it, okay? And for all of you mums that think, oh, maybe I don't have enough time, or anyone who's really super, super busy, I find that you guys actually do the best at this because you are so structured and you use your time so, so wisely. I love it when busy people join my team because I know that it's going to, like, that with the small amount of time that they've got, that they are going to make it count. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah. Busy people don't seem to fluff. They just seem to get down and do the work. So thanks for that, Rach. And, you know, one last question for you is, and I think this is a really great one for you, is that I see that you develop your team. You know, every time I look, you are rank advancing, you're in the bonus pools, you're definitely building a culture of leadership. So we all know in network marketing, if you read any literature, it makes your job a whole lot easier when you have some leaders. But how on earth are you doing that? You know, are there particular traits that you look for in people when they sign up? Do you know, oh yeah, they're going to be a leader? Or how are you bringing out this fantasticness in them?
Guys, let me tell you, like, there is no secret to this. You never ever know. You never know what someone is going to be like. Basically, I get everybody started on these incredible products, and I'm always painting a vision about what's possible. From the very start, I'm sharing that they can get their products for free. From the very start, I'm sharing that there is a residual income opportunity attached to this if that interests them. But first, I want you to have the best product experience possible because you deserve that. You're investing in your health. I'm going to make sure I support you and encourage you. But the thing is, every single person has greatness in them, every single person. And as leaders and coaches, it's up to us to unlock that greatness. And like, there's no secret to unlocking that except for believing in someone, encouraging them and loving on them. I truly believe that everyone who's successful in isogenics already leaders and so forth, is that sorry, my phone's going off. People have watched me on this Zoom. It's up to you to support them, coach them, and guide them. But those of you who are already successful will probably agree, it's not your upline who does this for you. I aren't responsible for my downline rank advancing. They are responsible for themselves. They are responsible. They've done the work. They've committed. They've shown up, and they have ran hard. And like, I'm going to just say this, like, so truthfully, that I don't believe that it's me. I believe that I've given them this great environment to grow, and I've always encouraged them and loved on them. But what I'm doing with finding these people, and this is like a secret, I'm talking to thousands and thousands of people. Like, you just have to hang out with me for a week to see how many people I talk to. And I get so many no's, but they're not no's forever. They're just no's, not right now. They're not ready. So that when I'm painting this vision to all of these people, the ones that are saying yes are super, super committed already, and they've seen the vision and they're going to go. So I'm just there encouraging them and supporting them and pushing them forward. And for the ones that join that aren't ready to run, we just love on them anyway. And I know that if I get them to events, and if I'm just there ready when they are, that someone will inspire them. A call like this will inspire them. Who wouldn't get inspired by listening to Anna Richards? Like, hello, of course they're going to get inspired. And so when these guys, then join, they're doing really well, and they're bringing people into their own team. They're gonna love on people the same way I have. And I look at Robbie's culture as well, that she's got in Isogenics with all of her people. It's just one big massive love fest. Everybody wants to be recognized. Everybody wants to be loved. And we live in this really sad world where it's really grey, and it's really hard for people to say nice things to each other. So as leaders, as nice people, as awesome human beings, if we go around just loving on people, encouraging them, supporting them, recognizing them for those things that they're doing that are wonderful, it gives people belief in themselves, and it gives people confidence. And when people believe in themselves, they will be unstoppable. Okay. I also think, we've just got to really crack into their why, and really just show them that Isogenics is the vehicle to help them achieve their dreams, to help them dream bigger, to help them live this incredible life that they want to live. And, there's going to be days where they forget it. Just keep reminding them. Remind them of what's possible, and always be there for them. And so, yeah, that's what I think.
Awesome. Thanks, Rach. You're definitely inspiring a lot of people. So my next lady.
Thanks, Heidi.
She actually thought she was not special enough to be on this webinar. And so if you're one of those people that are watching today and thinking, I'm not special enough to do this business, take some words from this amazing lady who doesn't even know her fantasticness yet. And she was an elite basketball player. She's now hiding a basketball under her jumper. No, not really. She's having baby number 2. She's already got a toddler around her toes. And she finds herself building a Isogenics network marketing business that has allowed her enough residual income now to work at home with her husband, who's a very famous football player. So her name is Beck Miles. Beck, are you there?
As soon as Rico walked through the door, he did a dance because all he could hear was himself being spoken about.
It's not about Rico today, it's about you.
Thank you for the introduction.
Yeah, no problems. Let's just get into it because I know we've gone way over people's lunchtime now. So baby number 2 is coming. Toddler already around your knees. Got your work cut out for you, babe. But you're still building a network marketing business, and you're still building it at a rapid rate. Tell us, what on earth are you doing?
That's a great question, and sometimes I ask myself that most mornings, and that starts with thinking, did I have a shower the night before, or did I really put powder in the dishwasher? So I've been sitting here listening to everybody else speak so far, and I've been taking notes. So this is rule number 1. I take notes from everyone because this business is always about learning something new every day. And yes, I did say to you, Heidi, that I didn't feel worthy enough, only because I feel I'm just a normal person. I am a mother. I've got my 1-year-old next to me who was supposed to be sleeping. So as we know, Rach just said, mums are quite good with their time, but we can never schedule in when baby should be sleeping. My partner just had to go and I've got a 9 and a 7-year-old two stepsons. So, and I find Rico can be a child sometimes. So I'm actually dealing with 4 children at the moment. For me, what I'm doing is I'm learning each day, and, you know, we've been involved with this business now for 20 months, and I fail forward. Every day I'm learning, I do something wrong, I find out what it was, and I make sure I don't do it again tomorrow. So I personally believe the thing that this business has given my partner and I not only is choice and freedom, but I guess I don't have to send my child to daycare. And if I want to, it's because I need some more time for myself or this new baby that's about to come. So why I go to bed every single night with my head on my pillow with the biggest smile on my face is because I know that we are impacting lives each day. You know, we're in a society these days where we're told what to do and how to do it. We should be going to school, going to university, go and try and find a job, and then go on to a retirement village, and then that's the end of our life. And for me, it's kind of like we now have everything in our hands that we can pass on. For me, it's a bit more, I still get a bit emotional about it because I now get to pass it on to my son and my daughter that's about to come. So and I go off track. See, this is what I do because I don't even know where I'm going. This is what this business has given us, is whatever we want to do. Anna said it before as well. It's, we have to sacrifice. And Heidi, you know this. I had a meltdown 2 months ago, and I didn't get out of bed. I was highly depressed, and I have a 1-year-old, and I was pregnant. So let's just say that's not good for the baby. So I'm going to put my hand up and say that I'm human, and this hasn't been all glory for the whole 20 months. You guys need to understand that everyone sees the glory, but they never know the story. But I'm here. I've been asked to talk on a webinar to hopefully, if there's one person on this call that I can turn that light on inside or make them feel like, yep, I'm human and so are you, I'm okay with that. If I can impact one person today, then, and Heidi, I haven't even answered your question. See, this is what I do. But one person, hopefully they can feel normal because they're listening to me. But one thing I do want to say is balance, and Rach just touched on that. I didn't have balance for about 17 months in this business. And Heidi, I have to honestly thank you, because just so everyone knows on this call, every speaker today, not one of us are financially linked, right? We are all on here because we want to impact women. We want to impact anyone we can, anyone that listens to this webinar. And Heidi, I met you for the first time 3 months ago, and you will be on my wedding list. You are going to be a guest at my wedding, because this business doesn't just bring you the products. Like, yes, they're life-changing. It's not about that. This is a life-changing experience, and everyone has the opportunity. Everyone has the opportunity to be a part of this. Okay, I've gone off track. Next question.
Oh, so does that mean I have to get a bridesmaid dress? Because I'm not really fit for the bridesmaid at the moment.
Mine's bigger than yours.
Oh, you're funny. Look, I think we all go through a period when building this business where life becomes very unbalanced. And I think that's just the truth of it. And I think that balance comes back. But I think people need to, we need to be real with them and just expect that level of really unbalanced lifestyle for a period of time. So thanks for being honest. And, you have this new baby coming along. I've got a new baby coming along. There's parents everywhere watching this that have got new babies coming along. What are going to be your tips for these new mums when they're going to be having sleepless nights? They're going to be tired. They're going to be dealing with crying babies. There are times where you just want to sit on the lounge and cry yourself. How are you going to keep inspiring yourself to move forward in this business when you're in this phase?
Now, when this call started, Robbie started speaking, and I can see Tanya Turner when Robbie spoke about arguments over money with her and Luke, and I saw Tanya's eyes light up and shaking her head as if Robbie was just talking to her. That is my motivation. I don't even know Tanya. I don't know who she is, but I sit here and I had goosebumps when I saw that. And, you know, for me, knowing there might be that one person, Robbie's already impacted one person. I don't know if Tanya's on the products, but that's all this is about. I think people need to also understand that this business is also a responsibility. You know, as mothers, we have a responsibility to service our children, and as partners, you know, with our other halves. But for me, it's the sleepless nights I get through because Rico and I have already had glimpses of freedom. We're not there yet. I can't sit here and say that we've got all this free time, and because that's not real. We're doing this to be able to give us later on that we can get on a plane whenever we need to if one of our family members is sick. And that's what anyone should have the choice of having. Not having to go to their boss and say, oh, listen, I don't have much time in lieu. Do you think you could, I can't even afford it. Like you have, everything we have in this webinar right now, whoever has sent you on this webinar cares about you, and you care about yourself enough to be on here to listen, to find that one thing. So, Heidi, you've also said to me on a phone call a while ago, this business is easy to do and it's easy not to do. And I've always lived by that because, you know, we're all women, we're hormonal, we're emotional, we all get that. Everyone else with me, hands up, or am I the only one? No, I can see people crying already. Great. So I truly do believe that sometimes you have to step back and realize what is it you want. And when you get there, don't keep thinking, I have to keep getting more to be successful, because I got caught up into that. Probably about a week before I had my breakdown, I laid in the bed with my partner and I said, when do we determine what success is? Well, we're both successful now, because in our life, success was both leaving our jobs, being able to take our kids to school, being able to stay at home with our child, having the choice, not being told what to do and not go to work and make someone else richer. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm successful because that's what we've been given. It's not about how much money's in the bank, so to speak. And I know that everyone's different. You'd need money to do things, but that doesn't motivate us. As I said, I saw Tanya, and that to me, I'm always going to take that away from this call. When Robbie was speaking, Robbie was the first one that spoke, and Tanya was already like, yes, this is me. So I hope that answers the question.
Just being really real and honest, and I think that's what everyone needs to hear. You know. So
and I'm shaking, like, just know I'm shaking. This is just how it is. And I've already gone to the toilet and I've had a spew, like Tammy said before on the call. She did as well. Like, we are real people. We've just been given the right opportunity. Oh, I'm going to use that as a quote. I like that one.
Well, you need to see how fantastic you are, and you can see from the comments there that you've impacted a lot of people.
Oh, thank you. And I want to say I'm very honoured to have been on this call, and thank you to all the speakers already that have spoken, because you guys are amazing too. So
I've got one lovely lady left, and this lady is a mum of 3. She definitely came in just for the product. She was actually our ISA Body Challenge winner. She has a banging body. She was working full-time managing a cosmetic clinic in Cairns. And Tammy wasn't really sure about network marketing, coming from that traditional business background. But she was able, in the pockets of her life, to build this business. And she's been through some massive challenging times. And she actually is also recognised as an Isogenics millionaire. So we welcome on Tammy.
Hi guys, how are you? Super excited to be here with you all.
Oh, great. Tammy, let's just dive straight in, you wonderful human. So you've maxed out your business, and for anyone that's watching this, it just means that Tammy has one business that gives her an amazing residual income every single week. And, what does that mean to your family? And tell me, do you still work?
Yeah, oh, Heidi, I love this question. Like, I truly, truly love the question. I'll answer the first bit. What it means to myself and my family, it just gives us choices. And I'm not stressing, like, I'm really not stressing about any financial burden that may pop up. But the reality is, I get asked this question all the time about the work. People see, you know, stuff being sprawled all over Facebook, and, you know, my earning or my level of earnings is whatever it may be. And, you know, whether I'm doing, you know, I'm interviewing a new associate, or if I'm doing a team call, or if I'm at a launch, or whatever it may be, they say, you know, why are you working if you've earned all of this money? The reality is, I'm morally obligated to work as hard as I do. I am morally obligated, because I'm going to be really real and raw with you all, because I think that's what you need to hear. But I know what happens when you don't. So like you said, I maxed out my business and had a beautiful residual income flowing in every week. We were cycling consecutively at 172 cycles a week. And that saw an income of anywhere between, you know, 10 to 15,000 a week. And I got really, really comfortable. And what happened is, I fell into what I call a success coma, and I took my hands off the steering wheel, and I believed the business was going to continue to grow, and I didn't have to do, you know, the activities that saw me see that success, you know, the 3 years prior. So when I took my hands off the steering wheel, you know, I wasn't doing any income producing activity. I wasn't doing any connect calls. I wasn't doing any team calls. I stopped talking to people about the products. I stopped talking to people about the opportunity. I stopped posting on my Facebook unless it was photos of me going out and getting smashed and embarrassing myself in town. I, you know, just stopped listening to podcasts. The personal development stopped. Everything stopped. I stopped, you know, walking the walk, talking the talk, and doing the do. And in 10 months, I saw this, you know, I poured 3 years of my life into this business. I gave it my all. And in, you know, a space of 10 months, because of the way I was showing up as a person, it was reflecting on my business, and my income started to drop. And we went from 172 down to 200 cycles, and 200 down to 150 cycles, 150 cycles down to 120. And for 10 months consecutively, it stayed at actually 110 cycles. And, you know, for those of you who know, that's still a lot of money. It is still a lot of money. You can definitely live off that. But to be at the pinnacle point at the top, and then to fall into a place of ego and, you know, taking my hands off the wheel and feeling like, you know, I've done my job, I didn't need to do anything else, it's going to continue to grow, was probably, it was the worst decision I could have made. And so when I realized that, and it happened to be a time where I just walked past the mirror and I kind of caught a glimpse of myself, and I looked at myself and I stopped, and I get really, really emotional about this, because I know I'm not the only person who's done this. But when I stopped and I looked, and I was like, who the hell are you? You know, where is that inspirational girl that, you know, was unstoppable, unshakable, unmovable, who was, you know, ready to take on the world, who really wanted to impact the lives of thousands, and who really wanted to be the shining light and the example for everyone else? Where is she? You know, are you going to continue to go down this path, or are you going to step up and lead your team again? And I had to make a decision. I had to draw that line in the sand. I had to swallow my pride. I had to get off my ego. I had to get to work. And by God, I got to work. So when I'm asked, you know, do you work? I work like my family's future depends on it. I work as if my team's future depends on it. I work as if my children's lives depend on it, because the reality is it does. I'm morally obligated to do this, to show people there is a better way. You know, who am I just to take my hands off the steering wheel and say, no, you go ahead and do it, I've already done. Do you know what I mean? So if that answers your question, Heidi, I've worked harder than I ever have, and I'm so blessed that I get to work this hard with a group of really amazing women, you know, mums, children, men, you know, all of it, you know, doing something I truly love, yeah?
Awesome, Tammy. Work.
Yeah.
So, look, my last question, I know we've gone way over time for everyone, but there's still lots of people that are stayed on because it's good stuff, you know, we're talking good stuff. Just, you know, you've had some personal struggles this year, and thank you for being open, honest, and transparent, because there's so many people that are going to relate to the struggles that you've had. And you know, going back to the question I asked Anna about why people quit, I think this is a big reason, is that because life sometimes just gets in the way, right? So tell us, you know, how you've managed to keep going despite all of the personal stuff in your life, and were there activities that you delegated to other people?
To be honest with you, life getting in your way is going to happen to every single one of us. And it just seemed to happen to me straight after we maxed out. And, it just saw me spiral into this person that I wasn't. And when I spoke about, my ego, unfortunately, I wasn't able to delegate purely for the fact that I didn't want to let anyone in and see me suffering from the inside. So, Beck spoke about you don't know the story behind the glory. I wasn't willing to let my glory go, so I suffered in silence. But the beautiful thing about that was that, previously before we'd maxed out, and the beautiful women that I had brought into this culture and this opportunity with the, the systems that we're all using, they understood and they saw my vision, and they understood that, I wasn't probably at my best at that point. And they were all leaders. They could see the vision that I had set for them. And they knew that if they wanted to work this, and if they really wanted to make this their life, then they were going to have to step up. And they were plugging their people into events, and they were hosting their own in homes, and they were doing the connect calls. They were pouring love and belief into every single person that came into our business center. They really, really stepped up, which then kind of allowed me to understand and to gain a little bit of confidence back, and to know that, I may have stuffed up just a little bit for 10 months. But the reality is I had done the work previously, and my income, was still there, but just maybe not at the point that I was enjoying it to be in. And these women, and I've got like a group of them there now. There's just a few of them there now. They're all logged in together to watch all these, women really sharing this message about how powerful this, this opportunity is that we all have. They stepped up to the plate. And I share that with you all because, I agree with what Rachel said. You don't owe your upline anything. Like, we're here to work our business, and it's very easy to fall into victim mode and blame mode, just like I did. But these girls really stepped up, and they pushed until, they pushed and pushed and pushed until, just like every single person on this call could push and push and push until. And I think it just allowed me to step back into my greatness and really to be the person that I was born to be, and help lead now this new generation of leaders to really own the hell out of their mind, body, and bank accounts. So, I mean, I think it's really important if you're struggling, don't suffer in silence. Don't do what I do. Reach out and just understand that it is a journey, and it's like this, but, don't quit. The most important thing is to not quit, to just keep going, just know that, times will get better, but you have to work. You have to, pour that love and belief into yourself. You need to fill your own cup up. You need to be making sure that you're surrounding yourself with the right, people. And honestly, everything will fall back into place. And, you may just be like me. Like I say, I'm the rise of the phoenix, because I feel like I'm unstoppable now, that nothing can get in my way. But I truly understand that, I needed to get my passion, my purpose, my inspiration, and my vision back for me to be able to inspire and empower and enlighten other people to be able to do this. And so, your journey is like this, but it is so worth it. And I mean, if you build leaders, and if you build belief, I think that, they will step up to, and they'll really rise to the occasion. So that, if that answers your story, your question, sorry.
Yeah, it so does. And I think it's just such a great thing to end on, which is, the rise and the falls and the bumps and the troughs. And, I think they're just so relevant to where you've got to be. And there's some people that will stop there, and then there are other people that will learn the lesson to move forward. And I was just, I was coaching one of the girls this morning, and had I not gone through the hard time that she's going through now, I wouldn't have been able to help her move forward, and I wouldn't be that person. And the same, I've done some work with Beck lately, and she's going through exactly the same stuff as what I went through earlier in my journey. So it's just a journey, and if you just stop and reflect and learn the lesson, I think you're just such a better person at the end of it. So, look, I know we've taken an hour and a half. It's been a mammoth webinar, but I think we've just covered so much stuff. And you can see from the chat that everyone is inspired. And, I hope today, as I said, has given you, the audience, at least just one takeaway that takes your business from an ordinary to a very extraordinary business. And for those people, you know, that are thinking about network marketing or thinking about even Isogenics and the products, you've heard, you know, this is the #1 company in Australia at the moment, network marketing company. We have the best products. All of us girls came in purely just for products. You know, all of us girls came in with no network marketing experience. All of us girls came in being very, very busy, and we're all very successful at building this business in less than 3 years. So I hope it's given you some inspiration that you too can build a career within the network marketing industry. So thank you all for jumping on, and I will pop up the recording because I know a lot of your friends missed out on getting on because it was maxed out. But thanks to all our speakers all over the world and all over Australia, and have an awesome day. See you later, guys.